You know, in Islamic tradition, the story of the Prophet Muhammad doesn't just kick off with his first revelation. Nope, it starts way earlier, with some really extraordinary tales from when he was just a kid. Today, we're going to dive into two of those stories, accounts of incredible events said to have marked him for greatness long before he was a prophet.
And look, these aren't just simple bedtime stories. They're told as accounts of these moments where the natural world, it just seems to bend for this one special child. It's a pretty fascinating look into how a legendary figure's early life is remembered, and we're going to start with an event way out in the vast desert.
So what does happen when wild beasts and even the harsh elements seem to just yield to a little boy's will? We're going to explore two of these accounts from his childhood, starting when he was just 3 years old, living out with the Bedouins and his foster family.
All right, so our first story. Picture this. We're out in the harsh, beautiful desert. It's a time of innocence, but also, vulnerability. The young Muhammad is being cared for by his foster mother, Halima, and something's about to happen that's going to test her faith and reveal something truly incredible about this child.
So, at just 3 years old, Muhammad wanted to be like the big kids, right? He wanted to go out and help his foster brothers herd the family's goats. But his mother, Halima, was worried, and you can't blame her. The wilderness is no place for a toddler. But then, his sister, Shaima, she points out something kind of magical. She says whenever Muhammad's with them, this little cloud follows him around, giving him shade from the scorching sun. And that gave Halima just enough peace of mind to let him go. But you know how it is. One day, Halima's motherly instinct just took over, and she decided to keep Muhammad at home. And wouldn't you know it, on that exact day, disaster strikes. Her other son comes running back from the fields, totally panicked. A lion has snatched one of their goats and dragged it off into the jungle. Now, seeing his mother so upset, you'd expect a 3-year-old to be scared or to cry, right? Not Muhammad. Instead, with this amazing calm, he just wipes away her tears and tells her, "Do not worry, mother. We will bring our goat back from the lions right now."
So he takes his mother's hand and they walk right up to the edge of the wilderness. And this little 3-year-old boy raises his voice, not with a shout of fear, but with this incredible authority, and he calls out a command. "O lions of the jungle, return my mother Halima's goat."
And the response? It was immediate and just unbelievable. A whole group of lions comes out of the jungle, but they're not aggressive. They are gently carrying the lost goat, completely unharmed. They set it down in front of him, and then they bow their heads. But honestly, the most incredible part wasn't just what they did. It was the reason why they did it. So the story goes that when Muhammad asked them, "Hey, why'd you take the goat?" the lions basically said they never meant any harm. The goat? That was just an excuse. They said the jungle just felt empty without him around, and their real purpose was just to see him. Okay, so fast forward a few years, and we get another story that shows this special quality growing even stronger. Muhammad is 9 years old now, living in the bustling city of Mecca. But the city is in big trouble.
A really bad drought had taken hold of the land. I mean, the earth was just cracked and dry, the wells were nothing but dust, and the people of Mecca were getting desperate. Facing real starvation, the city's most powerful leaders decide it's time for a very solemn, ancient ritual.
So you have the 32 chieftains of the Quraysh tribe, the most powerful men in the city, and they gather together to make a blood oath. They swear that they will go to the Kaaba, the sacred heart of the city, and they will pray. They're going to hold on to its walls and not let go until one of two things happens. Either it rains or they die right there.
So, their desperate vigil kicks off at midnight. They pray for hours and hours, just pleading with a silent, empty sky. But nothing. Their prayers go completely unanswered. And just as all hope is about to fade, an unexpected figure is about to step forward.
So they're praying all through the night, their voices just rising together. But when the sun comes up, the sky is just as clear and as brutal as ever. By midday, the sun is just beating down on them. These powerful men are exhausted, some are even collapsing from the heat, and still not a single drop of rain. And it's right at this moment, with everything looking hopeless, that a 9-year-old Muhammad goes up to his uncle, Abu Talib, who's one of the chieftains. He just asks if he can pray with them. But Abu Talib pretty much dismisses him, saying, "Go back. What can a child do here?" He basically tells him this is a job for the city's elders, not for a kid.
And this really sets up a stark contrast, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the 32 most powerful, most prideful men in Mecca. They're relying on their status, on this desperate ritual. And on the other side, you have a single child acting with this quiet confidence and just simple, pure faith.
So, After being turned away not once, but twice, Muhammad's persistence, and maybe just the sheer desperation of the chieftains, finally pays off. They relent. They actually stand back and let the 9-year-old boy step forward to pray. Seriously, just try to imagine this scene. The most powerful men in the whole city. They've just failed after a whole night of ritual and prayer. And now they're placing all their hope on a little kid. The entire city is watching. You can feel the tension. Everyone wondering, would the empty sky finally listen to a 9-year-old?
So what happens next, according to the account, is this beautiful, escalating miracle. Muhammad doesn't chant or perform some big ritual. He just looks up at the sky. With his first glance, clouds just start to gather out of nowhere. With his second glance, the first